Statistical Quality Control video series consists with 3 videos, and as the first video, here I hope to give an introduction about statistical quality control. In the practical situation, both consumer and producer want to high quality goods and services to obtain maximum economic benefits. As a rational consumer, they consider about the durability, reliability, ability to add in new devices to the product, and also the capability of using new technology when they buy goods and services. On the other hand, rational producers try to increase economical benefits with considering about the things such as prevention of wastage, minimize the restrictions and prevention of reset, and maximize the consumer satisfaction when they supply goods and services under the competitive market. So we know both consumer and producer want to high quality goods and services to obtain maximum economic benefits. So there are a lot of statistical techniques to applicable for controlling the quality of goods or services. I hope to cover these topics in this video. So we will discuss about the statistical quality control and both uses and limitations of statistical quality control and the variation of a product. There are two types of variation as chance variation and assignable variation, and then techniques of the statistical quality control, and finally process control and product control. Before we move to the theoretical part, let's see this practical example to understand the need of statistical quality control. Suppose you go to a shop to buy a perfume. In the first showcase looks like this and second showcase looks like this. The top picture has color variations and also the various shapes of bottles that will attract the consumers. And also those bottles are fully filled with perfume. Then the bottom picture, neither all color variations nor shape of bottle variations has shown. And also those are not fully filled with the perfume. So as a logical consumer, rational consumer, definitely you done your buying with top picture. That's why the rational producer wants the statistical quality control. Let's see what's the statistical quality control. The statistical tool set which use sample data to decide whether the condition of goods or services meet the predetermined standard and specimen is known as statistical quality control. And what is the quality of product? Availability of goods and services that meet the predetermined standard and specimen is known as the quality of product. The predetermined standard expected in goods or services is quality of it. Next video will be discussing more detail about the predetermined standards. Let's see the uses of statistical quality control. First one is generate complete confidence about the product which considered. By using statistical quality control techniques, producer can reduce recalls happening. So it will lead to generate complete confidence to producer to face the competitors' challenges in the market. Second one, it reduces the number of rejects and saves the cost of material. Since the errors can be early recognized and wastage of raw materials, wastage of labor, wastage of time being minimized. So it able to minimize the products being rejected in the market. Third one, re-evaluate set production process to increase the efficiency. It's able to assure the greater quality level with lower cost of the check-in under panel of trained quality controllers. So we can increase the efficiency of production process. Next one, it reduces the inspection cost. If producer has to check all the item one by one, that process will cost very high. But when they use the statistical quality control techniques, they will low cost because of the usage of sampling techniques. Next one, it leads to more uniform quality of production. By using statistical quality control techniques, we can able to enhance the productivity of particular goods or services. So we have more uniform quality in the production of our production process. Although there are lots of advantages and uses of statistical quality control, there are some limitations too. Limitations of statistical quality control. First one, it cannot be indiscriminately applied in a solution to all quality evils. Since statistical quality control is technical process and also this work with samples. So we can't assure 100% accuracy from this. And second one, implementation of statistical quality control is a costly endeavor. As lots of other implementations, statistical quality control implementations also very cost-consumed one. Third one, a false sense of security is created in absence of general awareness. This also practical to other situations too. There will be a false sense because of absence of general awareness. And next one, it cannot be applied to situations which necessary to do the 100% inspection. There are some situations which need 100% inspection. We will be discussing them in next video. We can't apply statistical quality control techniques in such situations. And next one, it may allow to occur the errors. Hence, this is the process with sampling. Here may occur some sampling errors. As an example, we have to reject lot of good items because of the conclusion given by our drawn sample. And on the other hand, we have to accept lot of bad items because of the conclusion given by drawn sample. Although there are some disadvantages, production firms widely use statistical quality control techniques because of the vast range of benefits that it has. Before we move to the statistical quality control techniques, we have to get an idea about the variations occurs in the production process. In a practical situation, it's difficult task that produce each product with the acceptable predetermined standards. If a product varied from the predetermined standard, there is a variation in the quality level of product. In addition, it will increase the production of goods that do not meet the expected standard when it occurs the higher level of variations in the production process. This may cause to decrease the quality of goods and services. Therefore, there is a strong relationship between quality of goods and services and variation in the production process. So there is a strong relationship between quality of goods and variation in production process. That's why we have to use the quality control as an essential task. So what's the variation of a product? The change of a product from predetermined standard is known as variation of that product. There are two types of factors caused to the product being out of standard. First one, random variation. We also called as chance variations and allowed variations. And second one, assignable variation. We also call it as controllable variation, preventable variation, and non-random variation. Let's see what's the chance variation. The variations occurred in the random due to the natural forces in a process of production which are beyond the human control, and they called chance variation. So the variations occurred in random that the identified error cannot be the correct, and those errors can be expected to be corrected naturally. They are known as variations, random variations. As example, machines getting simply heated and change in the humidity in the room and variations of the room temperature, they are random variations. Random causes are independent from one another and those cannot eliminated. We can't be eliminated those errors. And so it cannot assign economical value for random variations in production process. Producers expect that random variation are lay within range of 3 standard deviations from predetermined quality level. In addition, if there are only random variations in production process, producers consider that production process is under control. And second variation is assignable variation. The variations occurred in the quality of product due to the causes that can be identified are called assignable variations. So the variations that are identified error can be correct and until corrected the errors are in same stage are known as assignable variations. There are a lot of causes to make cause for assignable variation. As examples, machines not being fixed properly, and use of defective raw materials as inputs, and machines being depreciated, and laborers becoming tired, and also unhealthy or untrained with laborers, and machine not being maintained correctly. Those are the some of causes that may occur to assignable variations. Assignable causes are not independent from one another, and definitely those can be eliminated. So it can assign economical value for assignable variation in production process. Let's see the techniques of statistical quality control. The statistical quality control is a joint purpose of two divisions as process control and product control. We are widely use control charts for process control and acceptance sampling for product control. And there are mainly two types of control charts as control charts for variables and control charts for attributes. Examples for control charts for variables are X bar chart, R chart and S chart. Then examples for control charts for attributes, P chart, NP chart, U chart and C chart. We will be discussing about techniques in next videos, and let's see what's the process control. The procedure of investigating into the process of production to check whether the product is being made in the process of production to meet the predetermined standard is known as process control. Testing whether the production is carried out in accordance with the expected standard in connection with the particular production process in a goods and services manufacturing firm using random samples drawn at various situations from the process under the continuous supervision over the functions, that known as the process control. We use process control to test in whether the production carried out in accordance with predetermined standard And also we use process control to regularly focusing on the production process and also to identify the actions to develop the process. We can use these techniques to the process control. First one is 100% inspection. The process of check each product separately to find out whether there are any variations in the product, and there are some essential situations to use 100% inspection in the process control, such as for the products which has high risk in usage, and for the products which want to confirm its technology by 100%, and for the products of what the loss is unbearable as per their cost of production. And we can use the regular sample testing, and we are widely used process control charts. This is the statistical techniques applied to check whether these variables are functioning in accordance with the expected standard and specimens is known as control chart analysis. And next, what's the product control? The procedure of investigating into the quality of raw materials used as inputs of the process of production and the finished goods exit from the process as the output meet the predetermined standard is very important. That is called the product control. That the buyer is interested to ensure the goods are in condition to meet the agreed quality level before the batches of items are to bought. And particular testing method is required to determine which batches of items are good and which are bad. Such techniques are also known as the statistical product control techniques. We use to product control to protect the manufacturers by minimizing the defective products, and use to the as final results improve the quality of product and determine whether the bulk of raw materials or finished materials parts exist an acceptable quality level or not by using the numerical plan. Here we can also use these techniques to product control. First one is 100% inspection. As we mentioned earlier, in some situations, all the units in the batch can be checked, determining whether the batch is accepted or rejected by the checking all units is known as 100% inspection. This is also known as exhaustive inspection. This is a very expensive and time-consuming method, and also this is not practical when the test elements are destructive each in testing. And second one, sample testing. Many firms make the decisions whether to purchase or not particular batch of items based on the sample drawn from that whole batch. And testing of samples from each batch is most frequently method currently used in the industrial field in marketing decisions for accepting or rejecting the batches. But the accepting sample is the most widely used technique for product control. Statistical technique known as accepting sampling plan is applied by the most of the modern manufacturing firm in order to check whether the batch is accepted or rejected. Those are the product control techniques. As we discussed so far, now you have an idea on statistical quality control and type of variations in the production process and main techniques we use to statistical quality control, and what's the product control and process control. We will be discussing about the process control charts in next video.